Paul Price asks, why were the number of deaths on Eros changed from 1.5 million in the books to 100K in the show?
The snarky but honest answer is because producers are scared of large numbers. Honestly, that's it. When you start saying a million people got killed by something, the studio wonks freak out and go, it can't really be that many, can it? Nobody will understand that. So everything winds up getting reduced down. So Simon Lacey wants to know, I'd like to know from a producer-writer viewpoint and an actor's viewpoint. That's you, Wes. You're an actor. What distinguishes a director who is really good from someone who is just competent? What kind of qualities do they possess, and how do they manifest in the way that they approach directing? Go ahead.
I'm also a producer. Just FYI. Just want to put that out there.
Yeah.
And a writer. But go ahead, Ty.
Yeah.
You're up next.
Producer is the most throwaway title in Hollywood, man.
Oh, dude, you could have just answered the question. You had to just fucking crush me. Come on. I earned my producer's credit.
I also throw myself away there because, what the fuck do I know? They'd be like, you're a producer. I'm like, am I? I don't know.
Yeah, what do I produce?
Obviously, from an actor's perspective, it's going to be different. But the truth is, there's no one model director. There's some directors come out of editing, some directors come out of camera work, some directors come out of ADing, some directors come out of acting. They all come from a different place, and so they all bring different strengths and weaknesses to the job of directing. And directing has so many different facets and so many different jobs it's in charge of that it's okay that they all kind of attack the material differently. But I will say, as a writer, the number one thing I look for in a director is that they read the script and they ask the right questions. They come to you and they go, I need to understand the emotion of the scene, or I need to know why this scene is here and what it is that we need to get out of this scene for later. Narain calls it attacking the material. You want a director who really attacks the material and forces you to justify writing choices, because a television director is episodic director. They don't see the whole story. They see a little piece of the story. So you might be writing a scene in a script that they're going to direct, that scene doesn't pay off until 2 or 3 episodes later. And directors will want to know why it matters. Why do I need this scene? Why do I have to make this scene? What do you need to get out of this scene in order for it to pay off later? You want to know that the director is taking the material seriously at that level, that they're going to deliver really top quality product, even for scenes that don't pay off in their episode. When a director goes, well, I don't think that scene pays off in my episode, and they just sort of throw the scene away because they don't understand it and they don't ask you about it, that's very frustrating as a writer. So I really like the directors who really attack the material, need to understand it, and insist on you explaining it to them so that they will understand it before they shoot it. What about you as an actor, Wes?
It's a complex question because being a director is a complex job. One of the greatest books I ever read that I would recommend to you, Simon, is about directing, is Elia Kazan's book on directing. And he kind of breaks down what a director is, what a director's job is, theater and with film. And it's a phenomenal book, and I learned so much from that book, so definitely take a look at it. But there's some directors that have great strengths and weaknesses, and there's other directors that have the strengths the other director have and weaknesses that the other director has. And there's so many different ways to measure this, but at the end of the day, there's some directors that are really attuned to storytelling. They've done their work. They understand let's take the Expanse specifically, is that they understand the show. They understand what the characters are. They understand what the characters want. They understand what every scene is about, and they know how to communicate with you to accomplish what it is that you're trying to achieve in the scene. But they may not be as technically competent as other directors. They may not understand lenses and different techniques with lighting and lenses and different cameras and how to use different cameras to get different effects. Then there's other directors that are extremely technically proficient, and they understand all the different lenses, all the lighting, but they're not great with story, and they don't really know how to communicate with the actors. They don't understand what the actors are trying to achieve in each scene, which each scene is about. And so they make a pretty shot. They have great visual, but the story is kind of lacking. But ultimately, Every now and then you get the unicorn that's good at everything, right brain, left brain. You get, like, if you think about James Cameron or Christopher Nolan, James Cameron can write. He knows, he can tell stories. He's extremely creative, but he knows everything about everybody's job on set, and he knows it better than they do. And he's a genius. And every now and then you'll come across somebody that has that understanding and is versatile in their knowledge. But what that leads to is trust. And it's very simple. At the end of the day, you want to trust that the guy behind the camera is the captain of the ship. He knows what he's doing. He knows where he's going. He knows how to be direct and specific to you, to tell you where you need to be, what you need to accomplish to make that scene work. He can articulate in a way that puts you in that place emotionally, or gives you the context that makes you really understand what it is you're trying to achieve in that scene. And if you don't trust the guy behind the camera, it becomes a lot more work. It becomes you're kind of flying blind. The captain of the ship is not steering. And you, over time, you really learn to quickly assess, okay, this is that type of director, so I need to pay more attention to this side. Or, oh, okay, he's got me here, but technically and so you kind of start to learn over time, and you start to work with their strengths and help with the weaknesses.
I would add to that the easiest weakness to work with is technical weakness, because there is a gigantic support structure behind the director to fill in for that. You know, if you've got a strong cinematographer like we do with Jeremy Benning, if you've got these strong people in the technical departments, it's okay that the director isn't an expert on all those things. If they're a team player and they trust their department heads, that's okay. Those people will step up and cover their back and make sure it gets done. I think when a director doesn't understand story, there's nobody that can fix that for them. There's no help. And that's much harder to deal with.
I agree. I mean, the whole reason we're there, the whole reason people tune in to watch is story. There are moments where you might get a note from a director, and you know in that moment, I'm on my own. This is not the way that I would behave or what I would do. What's really fun and exciting is when a director gives you a note and it's something that you didn't even think, and it totally makes sense that you as that character would do or say that, and it's something that you didn't even see, and it's a different take, but they know it as well as you, or if not better than you. And that's a really fun and exciting place to be in, when you know that you can trust this person and they're giving you all these ideas and bouncing all these things, and you can play with that and enjoy that. So thanks, Simon. that was a short answer.